Does it look like I'm being a scam? Doesn't it seem to you that we're going to go and play football, I'm a failure in my life, I smoke drugs and throw them on the floor? There are a lot of cliches that come with that shitty tracksuit. That is, what you have to do, you have to burn those shitty jackets. Instead, you have to apply selling luxury and wear all those suits. Wear my suit today. Before moving on to the first suit plan, I've written down 5 objections you might have, because I've had them all. Above all, don't think that I was destined for the suit and so on. Once again, I don't come from the right background. It's the books that got me here. The first thing is that you can say to me, but wait, I don't care. In the end, it's to please other people that you wear a suit. Yes, of course, the delusion, you're not yourself and so on. In fact, you are your education. Of course, if you had been Elon Musk's son, you would be a millionaire by now, mate. Really, be intelligent. Understand that if you had been in another country, you would have had a completely different life. Today's you is just the result of the adverts you've seen the most, your parents, a few girlfriends, or a few best friends. The suit opens doors and sighs for you, all the way to infinity and beyond. Yes, we're here to please others. When you do your hair, when you shower, when you wear perfume, when you buy other clothes, you are already trying to please others. Next, you're going to say to me, I don't have any money, the suits you showed me are too expensive. This suit, trousers, jacket and blazer is around $249, $259. If I add shirt, invisible socks and loafers, we're talking about $330. I'm sure you've got a wardrobe that you have paid over $330 for in the last 2 years. So, in fact, it's just a question of reallocating your portfolio. If you dress like everyone else and so on, you won't have any money. I had ex-girlfriends who had 20, 25, 30 pairs of shoes. They still were not satisfied. Why were not they satisfied? Because in fact, all the pairs of shoes they bought were pairs of shoes that all the other girls bought. It's like girls with Louis Vuitton bags, Goyard bags, Yves Saint Laurent bags and so on. No girl goes out of the ordinary with those bags. Do you understand? There is no point in buying things to look even more like the norm. It's like having 2 casual outfits to look like a top 1%. Next, you're going to tell me, but I'm afraid to change, people don't know me like this, what are they going to say about me? Even my family, even my father is going to say to me, but you think you're someone else. People used to say that to me. In fact, these people don't understand one thing. If you treat someone the way they are, they will stay the way they are, for centuries even. On the other hand, if you treat someone as they could become, they certainly will in a matter of weeks. What does that mean? It means that if you are surrounded by people who want you to stay the same and above all, not change, get them out of your life, spit in their faces, get out. Or if you want the subversion, my interests have changed. It's the Alpha Male Strategy version in his books. We have less and less in common. Let's go in different directions. For my part, I prefer extreme solitude. In philosophy, death means not moving, right? Changing is a bit like moving. But what does that mean? It means that if you don't change, you die. I hope that you will change in your life. In life, there are timetables, almost checkpoints like in a video game. You have to pass these checkpoints. Why do you do that? Because, in fact, these checkpoints will always be with you. Take the example of guys over 40 who talk to me about 15, 16 or 18-year-old girls. Guys of 40 who are on TikTok, or the same goes for women. You sometimes notice reels that break through internationally who are 35, 40, not married, no children, no boyfriends, no confidence in men, 30 pounds overweight now. What's going on then? You follow the norm. Or in salaried employment. For example, there are people who are on pills in salaried employment, okay? You don't know, moms, dads, whatever. In order to cope, these people are on antidepressants. And what I've just told you, it's an open secret. It must be at least 25% of people in salaried employment. You will always be afraid. I can scare you about anything. You go out into the street, I can scare you about the fact that you're going to get run over, about the fact that there's going to be a bomb. On the contrary, you have to use fear as the next step. If you're scared, it's because it's uncomfortable. If it's uncomfortable, it means that very often it's the next step. Secondly, no one is in suit. But wait, oh, nobody wears suits. If I wear a suit, people will think I'm mentally ill. They will look at me. Yes, bravo, we don't live to hide and be afraid of anyone, okay? No. Exactly. If you're being sold the aspect, just be yourself, do what you want, yes, well, do what you want. Why are you afraid of other people's opinions? Do you see how stupid that argument is? It's the opposite, the truth. Why are you afraid of other people's opinions? If you watch videos like this, it's to change. Why don't you want to be in the top 1%? In his book, The Art of Always Being Right, Arthur Schopenhauer uses the expression justly, because in fact, it counters all objections. So, internalize it yourself for the fact that nobody is in a suit. Justly, I'm going to wear the suit. Is it nicer to wear a suit to be noticed? Personally, I've never had a negative reflection on the fact that I'm wearing a suit, apart from my close friends who used to know me. For strangers, women, men, alphas over 50s, it has always been a banger. People think I'm richer than I am, they trust me completely right from the start. I'm not at all, for example, a victim of racism or mistrust. People adore me even though I've said nothing, and I'm given qualities that I haven't even brought to the table. It's the halo effect. It's a bit like an authority figure. No one is in a suit, justly wears a suit. It means you're a victim of other people's gaze. If you want to wear the suit, you think it's logical, in fact, but you don't do it. It means you're a shit. It means you're a coward, but in the meantime, time goes by. Blink, you're 20. Blink twice, you're 24. Blink 3 more times, you're 40. The fifth objection, before moving on to the first costume plan where I give you all my solutions, is why follow me. You should know that I wear a suit every day. When I'm not in Crossing the Desert, I wear a suit. Every time people are shocked. Why are they shocked? When you're young, it's already a contrast effect if you wear a suit, whatever happens. Be aware of that, because if you wear a suit, even though you have a physique that's not used to wearing suits every day, well, you're bound to shine. I'm really asking you to be aware of what other people think. They're not going to tell you. But life, as written in Robert Greene's War, is a war, man. If you're white and small, remember that the first impression people have of you is that you're a victim. Once you're aware of that, you're going to dress exactly the opposite of the cliché of your appearance, even if inside you're different. People don't see that at first glance. These days, seeing is easier than thinking, so we rely on our eyes. You, on the other hand, may object to being too young and therefore inexperienced. The guy is going to split fast, he can be trusted, it's not credible. You see all these cliches about young people. Likewise, if he's shy, he won't dare to assert himself. So he can't be a manager, a leader, he can't evolve, whatever. They can't even manage themselves, for example, be an entrepreneur and all that. We don't even trust them. Become your own personal branding. And that's the secret. When someone is next to you, you gain social status points. There's an episode of Black Mirror that's based on grades. If you get a good grade, it's rewarding to hang out with you, to kiss you, to make you laugh, to make me laugh, to make you listen to me, to make you look at me, and so on. If you get a bad grade, the last thing you want to do is hang around with you. You're a pest. Grades don't exist, but in the subconscious, that is already the case. It's just not material, because you've already felt it. When the prettiest girl at school, for example, or at university kissed you at lunchtime, for example, when she saw you with a beautiful smile, do you remember how gratifying that was in the eyes of your mates? Because maybe she kissed 2 of your mates, but not 5 others. You were climbing the social hierarchy. This social pyramid exists, and you do everything you can to attract opportunities. They say the network. There are people who go to business school for the network of teachers on top of that. You see, a network of teachers in a world that is crumbling every day. So, on the other hand, my solution is much nicer. Buy a suit, max $330, all inclusive. On the other hand, by becoming a source yourself, at the top of the top 1% pyramid, well, people will come to you. There's a difference between, for example, what other, particularly girls, see of you and what you think of yourself inside. Because people don't see your number of subscribers at all, that you're good at editing, that you're starting to earn money, and that you work for major TikTokers, for example, okay? Or that you're developing Web3 applications. When I see you in the street, you're going to buy your bread. We don't see that, okay? So people treat you like what they see. You have to play on that too. And don't fall into the brand trap. You're going to look like the cliche of your generation. A friend drove a $40,000 Mercedes on credit. Another came to work wearing the couples, and last he was in full Philippine from A to Z. Like the t-shirt, it must have cost, he said himself, almost $300. Still, they didn't have the prettiest girl there. She was really a sex bomb. Now we move on to the first suit plan. You don't have to buy a suit overnight. You don't have to go straight from being a poorly dressed person to a handsome, upstanding guy with his life in order. So basically, your life in place, as Alpha Male Strategy says. No. If you're used to wearing t-shirts and so on, start with shirts. It's very simple. For shirts, go to ASOS or Jules, for example. The best you can do in any case, and this is what I recommend, is Spearing My Key. It's going to be half measure. If you don't want to bother with all that, sleeve lengths, neck sizes, all that long colors, you would go to ASOS or Jules. But obviously, you're not going to look like that. It's not going to be that quality of shirt. That's normal. The difference is around $10. So just in case, get Spearing My Key if you're confident. Next, don't wear a tie, man. No tie, no pocket, whatever. No, what you're going to do instead is, instead of wearing jeans, stop wearing jeans. You're going to wear chinos and suit trousers instead. If it's cold in winter and they're not good quality, which has happened to me for years, you wear your tracksuit underneath. I know you're going to say dirty or something. No, frankly, it's fine. Or you wear shirts so you don't get cold, like in sport, you know. Like MMA, for example, is that okay? It's an outfit already in 2080. You stand out from the crowd. It looks like evening wear, in fact. On your feet, you will be wearing loafers. You don't wear derbies or Richelieu shoes. That puts too much pressure on you. You look like a family man. You look like you're taking the oral exam for your high school diploma. Wear loafers with invisible socks. I used to wear them without socks. In fact, you're going to sweat, even in winter. Frankly, it stinks. It has happened to me before, so very quickly you change and put on invisible socks. It won't show. On ASOS, at least, that's what it's always called. You take a belt, so a thick, plain belt with no pattern, no rhinestones or sequins on it. Just plain, and you match it to your loafers. A man has a watch, so keep that in mind, always the watch. The next step is the suit jacket. Basically, it's a suit vest that you wear over it. I'm wearing one right now. It's really a three-piece. I really like it. So at first, just a shirt, even an open one, if you wear it with a suit vest if you're cold, for example. Instead of wearing, little cardigans and so on, or even sweatshirts, wear this instead, okay? Then what you can do is, instead of wearing jackets, okay, winter jackets, what you're going to do is put on a suit jacket. Quite simply, it's called the same thing. You put on a suit jacket, it's 20 out of 20. And then the next level up, if it's really cold or raining or whatever, you just put on a long coat, like an emperor. In any case, that's my style of coat that I like. I've got one, I bought it on ASOS for $179. Velvet inside, magnificent. $180. And I still have it today, and I can still wear it today. Easy.